Hello guys, welcome back. Now in today's video, it's gonna be a little bit of a doozy. It's gonna be a little bit hard to do this video. This is a should you pull Mercuria. I even thought about not doing it because it's kind of hard to discern whether or not you watching you should pull Mercuria or not, because from a mathematical point of view, it's very hard and it's very circumstantial whether or not you might want a character like this, because at this point, let's be honest, you don't need anyone else. If you're a new player, you do, but if you're a veteran, you don't need anyone else. Now, we'll do the distinction between new player and veteran later, but for now, let's address the veterans, right? You played since day one, and you are wondering if you need to pick up Mercuria or not, or even if you didn't play since day one, you have like most of the characters. Now, the problem with Mercuria is that she is really good. She is increasing the rank of the cards here. She's dispelling 2 random stats up and stats down. She's doing a little bit of damage. She's healing a little bit, and she is buffing critical rate. She's getting cosmic energy for herself. She is synergizing with her team. If the team casts X amount of ranked incantation, she will be doing a little bit more in terms of value. She will be buffing a little bit more, giving a little more value to the team. On I3, for example, if you need to get a certain threshold of a cosmic energy to get some benefits like critical damage to all allies for 1 round only. If you have 16, which is pretty hard to get, you will also get an incantation might to all allies for 2 rounds. And then you will also get 1 Moxie at the end of the round if the allies have cast 2 or more rank 3 incantation for that round. This is a lot to ask. And the main problem with Mercuria, right, it's not just this, is that CN, when she came out in CN, right, it was a problem. People got really mad because there's a lot of power inside her portraits. For example, if P5 was P0 or even P1, Mercuria would have been such an easy pick. Because this makes cosmic energy last for 1 more round, because cosmic energy here lasts for 2, right? So if this lasted 3 instead, right, not even the damage, just like the duration, just make cosmic energy last for 3 rounds. I don't know why I'm getting dyslexic all of a sudden. Make it last for 2 rounds, 3. Now with 3 rounds, it's easier to build up cosmic energy, even without using Mercuria with specific characters. Because right now, to keep cosmic energy up, you need to have a lot of characters that are of the type of the self-increasing their ranks, right? Or you are doing the ult, but you're not doing the ult every second, right? So when this falls off, the rank up, when this falls off, you are not contributing as much on cosmic energy with anything besides the incantation empowerment team, which is Marcus, Mercuria, Argus, and I guess Vila as a healer, but she doesn't really do that. She benefits from this, but that's a little bit of another topic. So if you don't have characters that self-increase their card, it's going to be hard for you to cast the required high rank incantation to keep up cosmic energy to the thresholds that you would like to achieve, right? So 9 specifically, and if you can 16, but it's really high. So having cosmic energy plus 1 round, so 3, is going to be way easier for you to stack. Also, the energy limit, the stack limit, which is 25, is going to be 30, right? So you see all the power in these portraits. Every portrait is going to make Mercuria more and more and more into a perfect quote-unquote unit. So let's get back in track. You are getting cosmic energy, right? But the cosmic energy gets calculated at the start of the round, which means that you need to be thinking and try to hold 9 at the start of the round. And since every stack is timed independently, it's going to be really hard for you to remember what the fuck you did 1 or 2 rounds before. So if you have like 9 at the end of the second round, you're not going to have 9 at the start of the third, because it's calculated at the start. So when it does the calculation, you might not have 9, because some of those 9 fell off because you cast them in the previous turns, and now they fell off because it's the third round. So the first round, now it's been 2 rounds, it falls off. It doesn't reach 9 anymore. So you see how problematic this can become. Now, not to say that the character cannot reach this, you can, and it's pretty easy during the ultimate, but if you are outside of the ultimate, you are constantly losing this critical damage, and you are almost never getting Incantation Might. So, and you're not getting the Moxie +1 because you're not casting 2 or more rank 3 incantation. So with this in mind, if you are ignoring the Insight 3, now you can see how everything that is left is a little bit of healing, the rank up incantation, dispelling a little bit, doing a little bit of damage, and giving crit rate 20% or maybe 25% to all allies, right? That is the only thing that you're getting from Mercuria, because at that point you are completely missing this. And if you are missing this, then it's not as good now, right? Is it? On top of that, the rank up, it says here, and I also forgot, and I'm sorry, I apologize for that, I just didn't see it. Rank up doesn't affect the effect of the card. So you have a rank 2 fake, rank 2 incantation during that of somebody else, you cast it, it's gonna count as 2 for Mercuria energy, cosmic energy, but it's not count as 2 in terms of damage. So that card, if it was getting a big improvement on rank 2, it's not getting that. You are casting a rank 1 equivalent of damage, but it counts as 2 for Mercuria. So Mercuria can get this up, right? Instead of getting 1 cosmic energy, you are getting 3 cosmic energy from that card because it's a rank 2, right? So that said, this is the first panel, okay? Who do you need to have to make Mercuria play well and be worth pulling? Because at this point, if you are not pulling for any portraits and you don't have the correct characters, I don't think you should pull Mercuria. Unless you are trying to do a future-proof, you're gonna get Mercuria right now, she's gonna be missing stuff, she's gonna be performing, underperforming until maybe somebody in the future that comes and makes Mercuria great again. Make Mercuria great again. So that is important to say. You could do that. We could get a character in the future, but it's been a while now. Mercuria came out in 2.0, we are now approaching 2.3, which means already multiple months, and there's nobody inside that does that unless Flutterpage does it, but so far nobody really does any self-incantation. Now, let's talk about the characters that can help. If you are picking them, they can help Mercuria. Okay, and that by proxy make Mercuria work and be more value, and now maybe you should pull her at that point, right? So if you have Lucy in a multiple mob round, in like a multiple enemy encounter, that could help, because Mercuria is going to pick up the Lucy follow-up attacks that she does when somebody dies. It's a rank 2 incantation, if I remember correctly. So that's gonna help, like gonna be like maybe 3 or 6 extra cosmic energy every time, but you need to kill somebody, right? So it's not that direct. It's not that direct, that power. It's going to occasionally help you. So it doesn't really do much. However, the Giga team for Mercuria is Marcus, Mercuria, Argus, and Villa. And you could also do remove Marcus for Lucy if you don't have Marcus, and keep the rest of the team. Why Argus? Because Argus does have Empower Incantation here on her card, and she's also adding 1 Gravedigger to the action zone. She's going to do an extra card, which is going to help, and the rank of Gravedigger is going to change based on the total rank of incantation that you played that round. So this is going to work and synergize with Mercuria's ultimate. So the rank up, even though it's fake, is still going to count for stuff like this and for stuff like Villa's Song of Passion during Rusalka. So when you do the buff during Rusalka, you're also going to get this part really easily. When attacking with a rank 1, 2, 3, it's going to be 2 or 3 minimum, gain an additional damage. So you're going to get more damage during the Song of Passion. That is going to work because they're just checking which rank is the incantation. But the incantation itself is still fake up. So you're not getting the damage, but you're getting all these triggers for the characters that do just a check. Okay? So if you have these characters or plan to get these characters, then Mercuria becomes a little more of a nice pool to do, right? A little more value, getting a little more value in the concept. Now we also have a Anjonala coming and Lopera. Anjonala coming in 2.2. Now Anjonala could mix with Mercuria, do the contract with Mercuria, and besides getting a little bit of attack, we don't care about that. This is what we care about, I3. When you fuse, when you do the contract with the special Flatus, Anjonala is going to launch a rank 1 Feast of Lust as a follow-up attack against the enemy with the lowest HP, which is going to trigger whenever an ally bound manually cast an incantation. And she needs to be in the hymn status, so you need to do the channel. But if she is channeling, now every time Mercuria does anything, if she does a buff or if she does an attack or both, Anjonala is going to retaliate twice. So that's a free 4 cosmic energy because it's a rank 1. Right? There's another option that maybe makes Mercuria a little more enticing to pull, but we shouldn't forget about another character that is coming, which is Lopera. Lopera gives a lot of value at P0. That is a contender, right? So if you want to pull for Lopera and Anjonala, right, then the same patch. Lopera is a normal character, Anjonala is going to be limited. So if something happens during this banner, the normal line of banners, Lopera can get it. So if you have a guarantee, the Lopera will be available, but not Anjonala. So if something happens and you can get Lopera, right? Or if you're planning to get Lopera, this is another character that might make you not pull for Mercuria. Like if you don't have all of these characters, you are not getting Argus, you don't have Marcus, you are getting Anjonala, but you don't use Anjonala, you're going to use Anjonala for something else. You're not really trying to maximize Mercuria if she's not your favorite character, right? At that point, why pull for Mercuria and have to worry about all of these when you can just pull Lopera, right? Lopera gives a lot of bullets. She has a little bit of a ramp up, but the moment you do the ultimate, everything falls into place, and you are getting infinite bullets. You're giving bullets to everybody. You are keeping your bullets yourself. Constant retaliation, like follow-up attack at the end of the turn because your bullet doesn't go off, and then thanks to I3, she is getting 2 Moxie every fucking time when she starts, and I1 is gonna get +1 Moxie every time somebody uses any bullet. Now, when triggering a bullet when attacking, she is getting, she's also healing, and this healing is really big. I had 6,000 healing in one hit with this. And she's gaining, when triggering a bullet when attacking, gain 1 Moxie. This is just for Lopera. But she is getting a lot of Moxie because you are not really using your bullets during your ult, because your ult makes it not the bullets not deplete. Right? You also have excess crit rate converting into crit damage, and she's getting crit rate 40% of the crucible on during the ult, plus the build that you're giving her, right? And she also giving the right on target buff on the allies, which is a crit damage increased by 10% of Lopera's crit damage. So if Lopera has already, like, let's say 160%, and maybe she's having more buffs, right? More crit damage buffs from other characters. Or let's say she has 200% critical damage. I don't think that's too far-fetched. In that case, you are getting 20% crit damage for free. from this part of the buff. So even if you're not getting Mercuria, you are missing, or if you have Mercuria but you're missing the critical damage, you are getting 20% from Lopera. So at that point, why would you pull for Mercuria? So all of this information you need to think about if you wanna pull Mercuria or not, right? If you also really want to use Mercuria, you could also do a Anan-Lee, right? Anan-Lee is receiving a Giga buff in the future in 2.3, I believe, and the buff is going to be like this. You know how in i3 it's just going to have switch between break time and exorcism time. This gets incredibly buffed, and it becomes this. At the start of the round, switches between break time and exorcism time. When she's in exorcism time, all incantation of allies is +1 star, and it's a real +1. When in break time, everybody gets 30% of their max HP converted into a shield, which equivalent, non-converted, equivalent of a shield, which lasts for 2 rounds. So this buff makes Anan-Lee insanely powerful in conjunction with everything else that she does, right? Damage dealt, damage taken, all allies buff lasts 2 rounds, dazing a level 3 on Taoist rune, right? This is going to become really easy to get the daze here. She's going to have a stun, she's going to have the buff, and yeah, and this break time and exorcism time revised. So with this character, you could just replace Mercuria if you are just looking for ranking up characters, but if you want, you could use them together technically and make this really easy, because now you have real cards. Almost every card is going to be rank 3. If you have alt up and you have Anan-Lee and exorcism time, right? So this is going to stack a lot of cosmic energy. Plus, if you chuck in there like a little bit of a buff, and the buff is level 2 or something, you are getting a lot of cosmic energy. That said, if you're not getting portraits, again, you are losing a lot of quality of life. So Mercuria is not going to be easy to play. It's going to stuff is going to fall off really quickly if she is P0. So if you're planning on getting P0 and you don't have the correct characters, again, such as Argus, Villa, Marcus, maybe Anjonala, maybe Anan-Lee, maybe Lucy, very circumstantial, situational actually. At that point, I wouldn't say to pull, I wouldn't recommend to pull. This is all for veterans. Otherwise, you can. If you want to, if you have those characters, or if you want to eventually make Mercuria good, or wait for a character that makes her easier, or wait for a buff or something, hope for something, sure, pull. Otherwise, I don't think it's a good idea if you don't have the correct characters, or if you don't plan to get the correct characters, considering that we didn't mention a bunch of characters that are really important, that could be really important for you. Are you pulling Willow? Are you pulling Willow? If you're pulling Willow, then you need to pull for Tuesday as well, and that's another line of pulls. So why are you getting Mercuria for, right? Save your pulls, especially if you're free to play. If you're a new player, I don't think you should pull Mercuria. Too much. She needs too much, and your hard-earned pulls, and you have and your 4 pulls that you have since you're a new player, you just pull for Lucy. Probably even Kakania, right? You have 0 pulls right now. You shouldn't go for Mercuria. Maybe you could wait a little bit, right? And see if you really like the character, or if you would rather skip. If you're a new player, if I was a new player, I would just skip the entirety of 2.0 and the entirety of 2.1, and then just pull for Anjonala and Lopera. If I was a new player, right? I would suffer through. But this character, there's no reason, unless you want to go for Willow. If you're a new player, in that case, then pick up Tuesday, right? But yeah, sorry for the long video, guys, but this was a very, very, very complicated topic. It was so complicated that at a certain point, I didn't even want to do it. So yeah. It is what it is. This is like what I think about it. You don't necessarily have to agree with me or follow what I'm saying. TLDR. Now, if you have the correct characters, pull for Marcus, or if you want to future, cope. Otherwise, don't, right? If you're getting P0. If you're getting P5, then yes, of course. With P5, Mercuria becomes a functional character on every team and you don't worry about it anymore. That said, let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you next time.